When I was in college, there was a game that I used to play with a friend of mine, similar to the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game, in which you would take a story from some piece of popular culture, a television show or a movie, and you would give an argument as to how that story was one of Shakespeare's 38 plays, that it had borrowed the plot from it. The joke being that there's nothing new under the sun and all things harken back to Shakespeare. Of course, the game is more fun the more that you know about Shakespeare, so there is an intellectual and creative element to that as well. Example. The Dark Knight is Richard III. The Devil Wears Prada is also Richard III. Captain America is Henry V, think about it. The Saw franchise is sort of a protracted second half of Titus Andronicus. And in fact, most of the horror genre, in its baffling Catholic morality, is a protracted second half of Titus Andronicus. Our topic this week: types of comedy, and comedy's relation to misery and dark stuff. I bring up that game at the beginning because any attempt we're going to make to fit all forms of comedy into boxes is going to be imperfect. However, some have created a list of 3 main types of comedy. The first being absurdity. We're expecting an outcome. Things seem to be moving in a particular direction, and something unexpected happens. They move in a very different direction, and we laugh. Catharsis. There's a moment of tension that we have fear or anxiety over what's happening, and something comes along to break that tension or tell us that the danger has passed, and we laugh. Scientists believe largely that that may have been one of the earliest manifestations of laughter in humankind. Superiority. Something is put up for us to mock, to laugh at, to feel better than, and we laugh. Example. Moe has a pie in his hand. Moe's intention is to throw the pie into the face of Larry. Larry sees what Moe is about to do, and so at the last possible moment, Larry ducks. Simultaneously, the wealthy dowager standing behind Larry turns to see what all of the commotion is about, and is hit square in the face with a pie. It fits the bill of absurdity. We are expecting Larry to be hit in the face with the pie, but instead the wealthy dowager is hit in the face with the pie. It fits the bill of catharsis. There's a moment of tension. Moe has a pie in his hand. Moe is throwing the pie. The pie is flying through the air. The pie hits someone in the face and we laugh. And of course, there's the element of superiority, my own 2 cents being that the Stooges tended towards the lowest of brow, pandering towards most likely a very blue-collar audience. The moment of humiliation of a wealthy dowager, giving them a moment's respite from a bleak existence of not knowing whether they will be able to continue to provide food on the table and a roof overhead. I also looked at this list of 3 types of comedy through the filter of religion. Take Western religion, for example, and we look at it through the filter of the fall, of original sin. We have sort of a hierarchy of piety here as well. Superiority, born from humans' desire to be better than one another out of pride and all of the things wrapped up in that. Catharsis, born from fear and anxiety, which comes from separation from God, lack of faith. Absurdity, arguably might be the most pietistic of the 3, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Looking at it from an Eastern religion perspective, all of these could be born from desire, humankind's propensity to want things that they don't have and thereby experience misery. Superiority, the desire to be better than one is. Catharsis, the desire for safety, for lack of fear and anxiety. And again, absurdity, arguably being the best of the 3, but we'll come back to that in a moment. I also look at it from a secular humanist point of view, a point of view that I find disturbingly easy for me to get into. Superiority, not particularly helpful, because that breeds separation. It pits people against each other. It is not helpful for a smoothly functioning society. Catharsis, born out of fear and anxiety. Again, not helpful for the continuing of humankind. But absurdity, that's the bread and butter of the secular humanist. And as for the other two religious paths, it's born from a lack of faith. It's born from separation from God, from God's apparent silence, from our lonely existence in this seemingly meaningless universe. It begins to dawn on me that in the video on comedy, I have been as unfunny as I have been in any of my videos. However, the second part of the question is comedy's relation to misery and dark stuff, and we need to tackle that. I think that comedy is directly related to misery and dark stuff. You could make an argument that the desire for comedy is the desire for respite from the awareness of one's inevitable death, that you laugh in willful ignorance of oblivion, that all of comedy exists out of, well, as William Blake put it, that humans are built for joy or woe. Hi, Death. Hi, Paul. So I'm trying to do this video. Did I have a silent heart attack? No, you didn't have a silent heart attack. Did my appendix burst? No, you would have felt that. Did I have a brain-eating microbe from using the neti pot? No. You boil your water, don't you? Yeah, I boil my water for 10 minutes every time. Well, then you should be fine. No, I'm not here on business. Oh, that's a relief. All right. Well, why'd you stop by? Oh, I like to stop by everybody somewhere in the middle of their life just to remind them that I'm coming. Oh, that's nice, although you didn't really need to bother in my case. I'm kind of obsessed with the concept of you. Well, thank you very much. And since you mentioned that, I thought that I had mentioned to you. I don't know if you knew this. A point of interest might be some of your fans have started a pool. Oh, really? I didn't know anything about that. Yeah, it's a pool about when and in what manner you're going to die. Well, that's hideous and really interesting. I wonder what the odds are at the moment. Well, the smart money's on a heart attack in your late 50s. Oh, well, you would know, but I really kind of hoped for late 60s. But since you bring it up, I figure maybe I'll help somebody out there that I'll let you know that my wife just recently bought a hamper in our bathroom that sits next to our bathtub that is perfect for setting my laptop on, and I can listen to podcasts while I'm taking a bath. Oh, really? That's really interesting. I didn't know anything about that. Well, of course you didn't. We don't really talk about what we're doing with our bathroom. It's not really public knowledge. Well, I need to go make a phone call right now, if you don't mind. I'm going to make a call on my bookie here in just a minute. I should probably tell you that next week we're going on vacation. Please don't rob my house. And so next Sunday, I'm not going to be making a video. I'll either make it a little bit later in the week, or we'll take a week off and I'll do it the following Sunday. So thank you for joining me. Ta-ta.